So here we are, and welcome back. We are in the middle of summertime right now. For those of you that are watching an episode and you don't know what time of year it is, it's summertime right now. And we are all back together. We've had a few people off on holidays and things like that, but we're all back together right now. I'm going to go around the table, and we're going to do kind of a sound check and a camera check while we do this too. And we're going to do intros. In the future, one of the things that I want to do is I actually want to do a separate intro, and we're going to start to put intros at the end. Okay, I got to show you. Outros? I got to show you Raven's mustache.
Oh dear Lord.
It's awesome.
That is
glorious.
So
That's funny.
It's glorious.
That's funny.
Glorious mustache.
Okay, I want to do some intros, but I want to do a separate video of intros, and then I'm going to start to put them at the end, so that when we don't always have to introduce ourselves every episode. If people want to find out, they can find out by watching the end of the video. All right. But right now we're going to go around and we're going to do our thing. So I am Dave Wildson. I am the game master for this game. It's called the Wylders game. Could somebody grab that mitt off the TV that we've got on there? Mind? A little cleaning mitt that we were using to clean up our TV.
Just put it each.
Okay, so I'm the creator of the world of Era that we play in. We play a D&D kind of game, but we actually use old school D&D. We use Pathfinder, which is based on D&D 3.5. The only time you ever see any difference between this and any other current regular D&D game, which we have played D&D 5e in the past, but right now, the only difference you're going to see is that we use a 3-action economy when we're doing encounter combat. And I'm going to go around now. Let's go to our left to Mr. Thaddeus Poindexter.
How do you do? My name is Ian Little, and I'm playing Thaddeus Poindexter of the Williamsburg Poindexters. Now, I was going through my my scrapbook, and I found a very interesting article from 1895, is it? 1895, about an escape from a prison work site.
Escape from a prison work site?
Yes, apparently there were 7 prisoners that escaped. 6 of them were recaptured, but somebody by the name of Xavier Moulin, who had been found guilty of murder in New Orleans earlier that year.
That was alleged.
Alleged. Well, I happen to agree with you. It was very much alleged. The interesting thing is that there was some evidence that they may have had some outside assistance. And the one that was never found, the last they saw of him was on an estate that had been burned in the burning of Atlanta many years earlier. But prior to that, it belonged to a family by the name of Abernathy. Interesting little detail.
That's
so
fascinating.
Very interesting.
So this prisoner that escaped, did he have a big black bushy mustache by any chance?
Well, I wouldn't know. I never met him.
Okay.
Although I wasn't in Atlanta at the time, I was at the county fair.
All right, hold on. Let's zoom in and see you at the
Fair
county
enough.
fair.
I was at the
You
county
actually
fair.
have a ticket.
And a ticket to the Atlanta.
Well, of course I do.
He has
He has his bona
an
fides.
An alibi.
Thaddeus always brings receipts.
You seem very well prepared for an innocent person.
Oh,
It is merely a corroborative detail to bring verisimilitude.
Say that again 3 times real fast. No, don't. It's okay.
Don't worry, Mr. Watson. It's
Corroborative
just a big
detail
word
to
like
bring
wheelbarrow.
verisimilitude. I don't know. I don't know if I know what verisimilitude means. Doesn't matter. Let's move on.
Close to the truth.
me.
Or the appearance of truth.
Verisimilitude means the appearance of truth.
I think so.
Interesting. Okay. Let's go on to Josephine. Hello, Josephine.
Hello. I am officially my name is Mary or Amanda, whatever you want to call me. But my real life persona, who the actual person I am, is Josephine Smith, the gunslinger. Pew pew. Whoosh. Watch out.
The whoopch is her whip. She's got.
I got a.
She's Indiana Josephine. She has the whip.
Indiana
she has the gun. Okay, thank you very much. Let's move over to Lavinia. Hello, Lavinia Rose. Oh,
That would
Lavinia's-
be Simon, our dog,
Lavinia's
who is
sidekick, Simon.
trying to assist us in doing presentations and introductions.
He's introducing you as well.
Yes, Mum, he says. My name is Janice. I am the wife of Dave down at that end of the table, our
Hello.
games master. Hello. And I play the role of Lavinia Rose. Lavinia Rose is our fortune teller. I've chanced upon these people as they were doing a train robbery, and I just happened to be on the train. So it's been quite the adventure.
Alleged train robbery.
Or I thought you were going to say alleged train.
Alleged train robbery.
Pardon me, the alleged train robbery. Anyways, I love being with this group, and you never know what's going to happen next.
Okie doke. Hello, Mr. Percy.
I am Percival Redfeather, and I am of Shoshone and English descent. And my training is in horseback riding, tracking, and all kinds of shooting of bows and arrows. And I was inadvertently confronted with a mystical mask, which I placed on my face and became the weird tiger, which I am now. I turn into a weird tiger when we're in combat situations and I'm under duress. So
Can I ask you a question?
And he hasn't got control of it yet.
My question for you is, you have blue in your hair. I often see your hair becoming blue. Is that something that you do culturally, or is that something that is historically part of your...
it is historical biology, because my ancestors came from the world of Era and were air elemental related individuals. So yes, I have a bit of the fairy aspect to me. So I think it was my great grandmother.
Something like that. Yeah, it's
Came
2 or
through a
3
rift.
generations back, and you have not discovered yet any lore in Era about these blue-haired people
Blue-haired people.
that you have some in your lineage. But it's given you an affinity with the realm of air, right? Okay, let's move over to Mr. Raven Alexium.
Good day.
Can you twitch your mustache again?
Yeah,
That is just
Wonderful.
the
that one
best.
twitches best of all
If
of
you
them.
wouldn't mind.
It's a wonderful. I like that.
I'm Glenn. I play this squishy wizard, Raven Alexium. My real name is what is it?
Xavier Moulin.
Yes, Cajun background, and I just happen to hang out with these hoodlums and get into trouble and adventure.
You know,
Your mustache is like dongling. It's like, is that the right term? It's just like
Is it
literally just dongling.
dangling back and forth.
So
So,
rather critical of my
Mr. Xavier Moulin / Raven Alexium. In case anybody didn't get it, Raven Alexium is actually an anagram of Xavier Moulin. And who came up with that? Who thought all that up, Mr. Who thought that up? Wasn't me.
Well-
No, it was the guy who can't remember it. He's the one who came up with it, and he can't remember it now.
I don't
but-
use it very often, my original
Yeah.
name anymore.
That's right. All right. Okay. So
We have been in Era for a very long time.
that's true. You guys have been here now. We've been playing this
feels like
game.
years.
Feels like years because it has, well, in game time, it hasn't been years, but in the real life, us playing this game, the campaign time, we've been doing this for 2 years now, more than 2 years. We've only been online with it for about 4 months, but we have been playing our campaign for a couple of years. So those of you who wish to find out more about the backstory, any of the biographies of our players, or the basic backstory of the campaign, you'll find it on our website, which is, what is it? Wildermage.com.
Wildermage.com.
And that's WYL.
LDER.
.com.
.com.
And it's and give it a second to load.
Wildermage.com. Wildermage.com.
We don't spend a lot of time on our website, so we just got a kind of a low end hosting. So give it a sec to load, but then it's pretty fancy. Yes, Josephine.
So, I was talking to Lavinia earlier today,
Yes.
and we were talking about something that you had shared on Facebook, which was our original video, which was our first game ever, and something that's really not been shared with the world. So, is there
Our
any?
first stream.
No, it wasn't even.
It was about our first
It
game.
was
It was trying to be.
we were talking about it, our memories of what our first game was.
If we go back to our Wildermage page on Facebook, our first game ever, you recorded a little bit of it, and
I guess maybe I did. That's right.
and like, wouldn't it be great to be able to upload that to YouTube, to be able to share it with the world, to
Yes,
let
I
them
can
know
do that.
about the train robbery, because it was really a stellar first recording. It
explosive episode.
It was explosive.
Explosive.
It
yeah.
didn't. I mean, we
They
didn't.
blew up
We
a
didn't have
train.
the Wilders bunch like this. Your camera was perched up in the corner, and it was like very awkward looking. But the story is phenomenal.
That's right. And you know what? I don't know if we have any audio, but I did do a quick little thing with my phone where we at least talked a little bit. We had planned right from the beginning to stream this whole game right from the beginning of the campaign 2 years ago, but we had a lot of technical challenges. We couldn't get the sound to work for a while because we just didn't have the gear. It took us about a year and a half to gather the gear together.
We could do the quiet picture, like the silent picture talkie inserts, right?
That's right. We'll have some piano music play and we'll hold up chalkboards with all of the painted stuff on them.
By strange coincidence, my friend Vince Anderson played the organ for a showing of an original Buster Keaton movie from
that's cool.
1930. It was called Young Sherlock.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it was in black and white, and there were no voices, but he played the organ for it.
That's
Oh,
fun.
nice.
Yeah, so I wonder if I could engender his assistance with that.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Cool.
I have a meme that says, "Silent movies are the exact opposite of audiobooks." Right?
We'll all have to think about that one.
Right?
I want to do a shout out to say hi to our chat. Sugarberries is in chat right now.
Thank you, Sugar. We love you.
Also,
Love
Edson was hanging out. There's somebody else too. But anyways, hello to everybody. We love you guys. And thanks for watching. For those of you that are watching the recording, we record about 3 episodes a night. When we play game night on Wednesday nights, usually about 3.5 hours. So we record 3 episodes during that time that we later upload to YouTube. Having said all that, also we want to welcome back Josephine Smith, Amanda, because last week she wasn't here. Where were you at last week, Josephine?
I was in Disneyland.
Literally.
I was in Disneyland.
Disneyland.
I messaged you guys from Disneyland. Actually, I messaged you right when we were about to board the oh gosh, it was Star Wars, but it wasn't Star Wars. It was Star Tours. I was about to join Star Tours.
Oh, cool.
The girls and I, and we were in line, and I got the notification, Wilder Mage is live, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta like at least come and say
Oh,
hi.
really? You got the notification?
Yeah,
Hooray!
well, because I'm a
Because
Twitch
you have notified.
subscriber. Yes.
You're subscribed. You
so-
have notifications turned on. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, everybody should have their notifications
That's
turned on
right.
for a Wilder Mage, of course. But yeah, I was in line waiting for this Star Trek movie, and it's like a movie. It's like a VR game ride.
Is that
thing.
the one where they took a photograph of you when you were riding on it?
No.
No.
What's the do? Oh, yeah. Hey, we forgot to set a timer. I'm going to get out the timer wherever the hell I put it.
Anyways,
Time to
I was
thank you,
away.
guys.
I was away spoiling myself and my minis at Disneyland last week. But I did watch the stream from last week, and I did see that Dave plays maybe a better Josephine Smith than I even do.
No way.
So, yeah.
I
No
never
one
would have
can
thought
replace
I
to,
do not concur.
to
No.
do the elephant. I never would have thought to do the elephant or to do the whippity whip and all the stuff that Josephine does.
And I did try and convince him to wear braids.
If I had thought about it, oh my God, I would have had braids and I would have been wearing your hat and all the whole bit.
Don't you have a wig?
Yeah, but it's brown hair. It's not.
So?
blonde.
That's
And
great.
everybody at the home's like, what the hell? It's a character. It's an old character that I played a long time ago before I had a beard and wrinkles.
For a medieval show.
So you say.
So I say, that's right. And now I've got it up in the bedroom. No, I'm kidding.
my.
That's not true.
Oh my.
All right, let's actually pick up the game. You know, we're supposed to be here to play, right? Right.
Let's do it.
I know.
Let's do
It's like we haven't seen each other for such a long time. We're just going.
All right. We're going to go to the adventure screen real quick, and I'm going to show everybody where you're at and what you're doing. Let's see if we can get that up behind me too. That'll help you.
That would
Is
be
it behind me?
great.
No,
No, there's
it's-
some weird thing behind you.
Well, it's YouTube behind you.
Okay. Boom. Just
Yeah,
like
there
that.
we go.
That's it.
Okay.
Way more better, thank you.
I had our YouTube channel behind us before. I was going to talk about that, but let's go to game stuff because we've gabbed enough. To catch up where we were, the Wylders have been off on a bit of a side quest from their regular storyline where they are in this abandoned mine trying to rescue 3 prisoners that were taken by a Duergar raiding party. They have worked their way all the way through the mine. They have, and here's the mine. You can see the mine here, all of the different areas that they've been in. It's not a huge mine, but it's taken us 3 game nights to play, which is a lot of extra, a lot more than I expected. They have defeated all of the baddies. They just finished the Duergar battle just in the last session. And they are now out of combat, trying to decide what they want to do. A couple of notes for you to remind you. One of them was that you encountered a Morlock right beside right where the 9A is on the map, is where he was laying after you defeated him. And you come back and he's gone.
For
He
those
apparently
who are
has
joining us,
tracked
can you
away.
explain what a Morlock is?
And a Morlock is like an underground humanoid creature, extremely powerful, bit cannibalistic. And this one was the tender and caretaker of a big dig widget that the Duergar Raiders had brought with them, which was a mechanical digging machine. And they were using it in this mine, and the Wylders ran into the party in this area and got their butts kicked for a while. The Duergar are now defeated and laying around. You can see the little white skulls where the Duergar dead bodies are on the map. And you guys are out of combat. What do you wish to do?
Loot the
Should we go
bodies.
around? Loot the bodies. That's where we left off. Looting bodies. Which bodies do you wish to loot? Who's going to loot what?
Well, I'm probably closest to. No, just
You should be able to double click on any of these bodies that are laying here, the white skulls. Sure enough. And it should pop open, and then you will see that they've got the tabs, main, inventory, spells, effects. If you go to inventory, it'll show you the stuff that they have on them.
So we just all go nuts on them?
Well, you guys
can I
can-
ask you to read what they are because I can't see?
Well, you can like click on the skull and see it for yourself.
Okay, so yeah, you can look for yourself. I'm starting with the Duer, and I will do this for the audience at home because they can't see. I'm going to start with the one at the very bottom of the screen, which was the Duergar Bombardier. And you can see that he's got some usual stuff on him. He's got a war hammer. He has still an acid flask, lesser, and an alchemist fire, lesser. He's got some studded leather armor. He's got a set of day goggles. And this is how they were able to resist completely being overwhelmed by the light was that they had some day goggles. He's got some alchemist tools and silver nugget. He's got some infused reagents. Oh, look at that. See, I'm putting a few in there, so you've got them if you need them. Some coyote tobacco, chaga. Now, chaga is a fungus used for fire starting and some other medicinal uses. And he's got a few chips on him, okay? So you guys can move that stuff to the bag of holding or all hog it up or deal with it and trade it back and forth, whatever
am I
you need.
not allowed to claim infused reagents?
They won't do you any good.
Glenn can do that?
They won't do you any good because only an alchemist
Okay.
can make use of those at his tab. And I don't even know if he can even use those ones, but we'll see. He gets some generated every day that he uses with his crafting. That's separate from the regular crafting that everybody else has got.
Well, he got
based on our new crafting module.
Thaddeus is quite the clicker. Thaddeus is quite the clicker. He's already
Hog the
gotten
loot.
he's already gotten
Coyote.
feverfew, coyote tobacco, and infused reagents.
Well, I took the infused reagents.
Yeah, that was
I'm
me.
going to just
Raven
continue on with the other ones for the benefit of the people at home. I'm just going to go through their lists real quick. You guys can, from your own little laptop screens, click on any of these players to take the stuff. Let's see what's left on Duergar. Stonecaster staff, leather armor, day goggles, some mushrooms, some coyote tobacco, and some gems. And the last one, unless he's already been all looted up, is this sharpshooter. And he has got on him a crossbow, light mace, chain shirt, day goggles, some bola bolts, some bolts for his crossbow, some chips, and a pamphlet about knockout slugs. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
Sounds exciting. I can't open it.
Okay, so who's going to take what, and how do you want to do it?
I think the knockout slugs are for Josephine.
I would hope so.
Which dude was
Now,
this again?
in this case, this is a pamphlet about knockout slugs. Very much. Thank you very much.
Oh.
So not just knockout slugs themselves. It says this pamphlet describes how to make a knockout slug. It describes the materials required and how to make the item. And after you've read it, let the GM know. And now the GM knows that you understand the recipe and you can make these things. So this one, of course, is for Josephine's crafting books because it's specialized ammo. Last week, there was another specialized ammo pamphlet found. Actually, it was a book and it had a recipe in it. And it was the recipe of sleep arrow. So those are two new crafting things for
And they're both
Josephine.
things that you can.
Right. How am
That
I
you can
supposed
make.
to add these to my inventory? Like, I did it before, but
It doesn't matter if you actually add this pamphlet to your inventory because I'm going to activate for you the crafting book so that you've got it in your crafting book and you'll be all good to go.
just before I was able to just double click and then it would add to my inventory.
If
And
you have
is
both screens up, your inventory screen and
right.
and you
Okay.
can click and
So
drag.
just drag.
Or
okay.
party, and you can drag over
Yeah.
if you've got party
Okay.
open.
Okay.
So there's the loot. I don't want to spend a lot of time on loot. You guys can always go back and find it if you need to, but I wanted to make sure that we covered it so that you've got what you need. What I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to go find the book. Josephine's book for her ammo is called Hard Ammo for Hard Times.
Right. Yes, I haven't had a chance to read that yet.
Well, if you look at it now, I am just now,
Hard ammo for a hard time.
and you should be able to see knockout slugs.
I just
it-
dragged some
Okay.
a pamphlet in there. So
Also, you have another book now. It's a brand new book that you're able to read, and it's the book they found while you were gone last week, and it's called Staying on the Straight and Arrow.
okay,
And
where
you
do
can see
I
that.
find these books?
They're in your recipe
inventory?
manager. So you've got
Recipe
the
manager,
items and
okay.
recipe manager.
Okay.
You've got a button down on your thing for it too, I think. I don't remember. Anyways, sleep arrow you have discovered. And I just need to allow. There we go. Okay, good. So you can see those recipes. If you have problems later on, you can let me know and I'll sort it out for you. Now that you have looted the bodies and sorted that out, any questions about loot before we move on?
So, Josephine, are you taking the bola bolts and bolts?
Can someone just pop them? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find other things. Can someone pop those into my inventory if you wouldn't mind?
I can try.
And if not, just throw them in the bag of holding and she can get them from there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that
Thank
for
you.
now.
Or party stash, as we call it now. Other questions? Other ideas? If not, we're just going to go around table like we usually do, clockwise. We'll start with Thaddeus about what you are going to do and where you're going to go on the map.
I'm going to start investigating this last section that we haven't been in yet, because we are here to rescue some prisoners after all. It would be nice to be able to find them.
Okay, so when you say the last section, you mean you want to go up through into this last upper left corner of the map. Is that right?
That is correct.
All right. Okay, so I see that Percy's already moving his token up there too. Do we have our tokens in the right place on the
Yes.
game table? The table map. Is everybody where they're supposed to be?
Until I started moving.
Okay, you guys can correct those and get those sorted out. Okay, you're going up into that corner. And as you move up into that corner, you see directly ahead of yourself a large wooden door. I'm just going to, since you've walked into that room, I'm just going to...
Mr. Red Feather, I need you to get out of the way so I can get past you.
Mr.
No.
Percy's in the way.
No, on your computer, I can't move my token on the computer because
Oh,
you are in
There's
the
no
way.
clearance? You couldn't go right against the wall
you
and
can't
kind of...
just like smush past.
I tried that many times, and
Oh.
it says that I'm going against a wall.
Yeah, I know. I'm finding the same scenario.
Okay. I'm in now, thank you.
No, it's not moving.
There you go. I see you moving now. Okay, I am just cleaning up the fog of war for you guys, so that in this room, basically what you get to see are 3 doors. Heavy wooden doors. As Percy walks up to the one that he is closest to, all of a sudden he hears...
I do not know if this is the right door.
What's behind door
It
number
sounds
2?
like my ex-wife.
Let's go to adventure screen. We'll show you guys on the adventure screen where they're at and what they've got that they've encountered.
Who's a spider? Wait, no, that's your
That's an illusion. It's
That's
actually
this.
there for quite a long time. So
Still a spider illusion that Raven cast. You guys had the Duergar penned in last week.
Yeah.
Pretty heavily. So that's where that's come from. Let's go to Triple. Triple's.
I have a question because to be fair,
I'm gonna move the table map down a little bit so that we can focus on this area now. Okay, you guys can move minis to wherever they need to be. What's your question?
so I started watching our game,
Yeah.
and to be honest, I got bored and fell asleep. But
Combat, that's a problem for combat. And I'm trying to shorten combat because of that.
But I did watch the last hour or so, so I noticed that Bear and I did get into a tussle with some
One of the Duergar, I think.
dwarf or wereguard. But I didn't catch. Did we all have a chance to rest? Have these two?
No.
So
No.
so have we been actively seeking a
Yes.
resting space still?
Yes. You guys have been in combat so much you've never had a chance to rest. Our magic users are frustrated because they have no spells left hardly. But you now are out of combat And unless there's something else that's going to jump out and bite you,
And that's what I was thinking, because you said we're out of combat. Like, should we be seeking a little corner we could?
It's a question of finding a safe space.
It's expedient.
Okay.
So if you have any flashes of inspiration as we go along.
okay. Oh, by the way, Glenn and Rob, I wanted to point out I moved around a few of the buttons on the control screen, the control for all of our scenes. You'll notice down in the bottom left where the GM screen button is. Normally, I'll be the only one that ever taps that one. It takes a double tap to do it anyways, okay? But I put all of our group scenes across the top. You'll see it's 360, Wilder Bunch, Triple, Room, Table Map, Adventure screen, right? And then all of the different player ones below that, just so you know what's going on. And Minicam's not working until hopefully next week I'll have sound working, and then Minicam will be plugged back in. Okay, a little bit of housekeeping to do.
You have your hand up.
I do have my hand up.
Yes, Josephine Smith.
Okay. I just peeked on the chat, and I would like to say hello to another one of our regular visitors. Hello, ZZ.
Yay, ZZ!
Hey,
Hey,
Zed.
ZZ.
All
We
right.
got Sugar and ZZ.
Yes, and I believe actually, probably on YouTube, Pete's watching. He asked about the game tonight. Pete
Oh, hey,
Miro.
Pete.
Shout out to Pete Miro.
Hi, Pete.
Thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Okay, so Thaddeus has walked up there. He's encountered the doors. So has, I see that Lavinia's got her token up there too.
Finally, after being told you're running into a wall.
So
You
Thaddeus,
are
what do you
running
think?
into a wall.
Anything else you want to do before I go around to the next person?
I think I'm going to just check each of the doors for traps.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, roll to check. While you're doing that, Josephine, what do you want to do?
Where am I? And where's everyone? I'm right there.
Yeah.
Everyone else is kind of all spread out.
We're above. If you look above.
Oh, I'm looking right here at the table.
Raven is going over, and it looks like he's going to go up in that area too.
So
You should move your token.
Bear and I are here.
Yeah.
Okay, and so Thaddeus has rolled, and oh my God, it's a 20! Yay for Thaddeus!
+9.
You have so much more luck on
He's
this
using
side of
up
the
all
table.
his 20s right now.
This is the lucky side of the table.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see now if the side of the table where Thaddeus was sitting for the last 2 years and having terrible luck, if the luck stays over there, or if it follows Thaddeus because we switch places between Raven and Thaddeus.
I'm
That's
quite
funny.
happy where I am now. Thank
Yes, you're happy now. Yeah, I bet you are. Okay, as you search, you find that none of the doors are trapped. You recognize these kinds of doors. These are obviously in the past they looks like they were storage rooms, but the doors have been beefed up, and clearly they have been made much stronger to hold something behind them.
I was
I'm
also
listening
looking.
carefully to the doors, each one.
I was
Heard a
looking
crumbling
through the journal to
door.
see the description of the prisoners, but I wasn't able to find it yet.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Josephine.
You guys, do you remember we went back to the underground or the underwater place? Why did we not just take one step further backwards, which literally had bunk beds and was like a barrack?
Because there was brown mold on the wall.
That was in the swampy room, not in the barrack room.
Have a look at the map. I'm going to go back up to it. It's up behind me. You can have a quick look. We'll go to adventure screen and I'll show you. If you go back and you look at that part of the map, that brown mold was right. That's not a good. Here, I'm going to show you. Here's the effect of where the brown mold was. Right where that green circle is.
Yeah.
That was the problem. It was on this wall at the heads of all of the bunk beds.
Okay.
That brown mold was
Dang.
there. Yep. That was a hazard. So you guys chose not to go back. That was Rob's idea, was to go back and try and rest there. Sorry, Percy's idea. But
No, he thought we should go rest underwater.
well, no,
this
you'd go
is
through it,
Last
and
week he was suggesting.
Oh.
but then the problem was you would have been in long-term exposure to that mold, and you certainly would have taken a negative effect from it.
Okay.
So that's why that did not happen.
Okay. I'm sorry, you guys. I really should have paid more attention to
That's
last
okay.
stream.
So going back up here to these things, I'm going to go to Lavinia next, but Percy said he's listening very closely.
Closer to each door.
You can clearly tell that behind the top right door, there's clearly something in there that growls, and you think you can hear more than one of them. All right.
So which door is that?
top
then?
right.
The top right.
The one that's gonna stay
So-
closed.
That
Absolutely.
would be.
8A.
Can I ping this for you? That would be this one. Does it ping? Ping, ping. I can't tell if I'm pinging it. Maybe if I draw on it. Okay, so the door that sounds. No, I can't draw on it either.
It's okay. We got the idea.
I can put an empty white circle there. Okay, 8A. You can kind of barely see that it says 8A on the map. Obviously, 8B is the far left one. Okay, so the top right one is the one where you hear the growling. You don't hear anything from the middle one, and the 8B, which is where Percy is right now. He hears somebody going.
Who else is?
And he
so
hears some shuffling
tired?
and scraping. and
Psycho
stuff like that.
clowns and things.
Well, that's
So-
why I was looking for descriptions of the prisoners.
Right.
Because there was one old man, and I think there was one.
It's in your journal. It's under the slave list. Was actually the description that you had was on the slave list.
Yeah.
Should be in the journal, and I think it's actually under quests where the Duergar are, is where you had the slave lists. Anyways, going to Lavinia. What would you like to do, Lavinia?
I would like to go over to where you are and see what we're going to do next about the person in that room.
Okay, so you're going to move your token over beside Percy. All right, fine. And Raven, what do you think?
I'm gonna go and hang out beside Percy in case he needs backup when he opens that door.
Good call.
Every time I look over it, I see that big old.
Human shield.
That's like a white. That's like a Wyatt Earp mustache thing.
It's configurable.
Hanging off your nose.
Oh, very
That looks
cool.
way better because the last ones like literally looked like, you know, when you get up behind a big truck and they have those like tingleberries and like the ones that they like, because my truck has balls, whatever. Like,
I didn't think about Dingleberries. I thought about Neil Patrick Harris in a million ways to die in the West.
The last ones that he was wearing were going like this, doot, 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 and they were like hanging like this.
Oh
They're
my
just like,
God.
They were hanging like a set of truck balls.
Oh,
yes,
dear.
Really?
they were.
Oh, dear.
See, I didn't pick that up
But-
at all.
No, neither did I.
Nope,
your
me
your
neither.
mustache looks lovely.
I didn't see testicles.
What kind of rides did you go on in Disney?
Okay, so no, Raven's mustache this time. I
But
vote
I
this is the
agree.
best mustache he's ever brought to the game. Isn't it? Don't you think?
It's
Yeah.
I think
Well-
it's good.
mustache.
Just for the record,
Oh, here we go. Let's find out.
I have all kinds of accessories.
Check this out.
So you'll be seeing different.
It's
I'm excited for
awesome.
the stash tats.
We love the running mustache gag. We think it's hilarious.
We should play mustache bingo and have a mustache bingo.
This is what this one is.
Shape it any
It's
way you
actually a
like.
party way configurable mustache.
You know, when we're famous, we'll make sure that Raven's got his own mustache page, and you can order whatever mustache it is.
The
that
gallery of mustaches.
That's right. The mustache gallery. That's an excellent idea.
I have to ask, do you have it clipped to your nose like a nose ring? Is that
Yeah.
how? Is that
This
how?
one-
This style is a nose ring,
It's on the septum.
and it's as comfortable
So-
as it sounds.
Between the nares.
Okay.
It's amazing
In
the
the
things
area
you
between
do
the
for art.
nares.
Well, you could get a real nose ring, and then you could just attach it to that.
With the magnet.
So that's not like just uncontrollable nostril hair. Then it's like an on purpose thing that's just clipped in there.
That's right. It's like a hair extension for your nose.
Nice.
I don't think I would ever need hair extensions for my nose.
Well,
I hope not, because I really don't want to see that. So
Well, no, my lovely ex-husband actually gave me a nose hair trimmer for Christmas one year in my stocking because I had like
wow.
stuff that I didn't notice.
Things we talk about when
So
we're
now-
waiting for a turn.
Oh
So
my
now
God.
I always notice nose hair because like how can I not see it now that I was like drawn to the fact that mine was uncontrollable apparently. Anyways.
I don't think that was actually a thing. I think he was messing with you. Now, if it was me or if it was Rob or probably these other two guys, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Those are things,
Yeah, I have one.
right?
It's a little bullet-shaped one, like, "Arr," and it goes up there.
Oh,
It's great.
you know what I use? I prefer to use the little scissors on my Swiss Army knife.
That was the most funny thing I've ever seen in a Mel Brooks movie was when, I think it was, what's his name? The big chubby guy with the high squeaky.
Charles Durning.
No. And
No?
he had a pair of scissors and he pulled up his nose and stuck the scissors in and cut out the little hairs. And yes, it was
I
just
use little mini scissors.
and for
They
the
work
record,
better.
that's why we've been playing this same campaign for 2 years.
That's right. That's why we play the same campaign for 2 years.
Because we never get past
go off
our
tangents.
Okay, I've looked through Ambush at the Angel Bridge. I've looked at Shallow Creek Mine. I've looked through the campsite, and I cannot find
All right, that
the
list.
reference to
Let's go
the
to
slave
J
list.
for journal. Let's go to quests, and let's go to completed Duergar Raiders. Is it on the screen behind me? Yes, sir. So I went to quests. I go to this completed one, Duergar Raiders, and if we scroll down, here's the list: slaves for transport. This is the only description you've actually had of them. It said there were 3 slaves. There was an old fisherman. Old might die. There was a big trader. Big and strong. Good money. And there was a young fisherman. Wimpy. Crying all the time.
Okay.
And then it said, don't forget to feed them and the hounds. So that's what you were looking for, I think,
That's where
wasn't
the
it?
hounds are.
That was the only information that you guys actually had on these prisoners, these slaves that were being.
So we have the
transported.
fisherman, and what was the one above
I
it?
think there was also below it, there might have been one of the letters talked about. Oh, it just said that they were the raiding party that attacked you was out looking for more slaves. And then what was this? Oh, and then there was one letter that was found on another one of the Duergar that said, Dalrin, Helgen says, we're leaving the mine tomorrow night to head back up north as soon as you lot get back with more slaves. And that's about all it said. And the plan was, based on this one, was it said, if you don't come back with someone what's good to sell to the Aesir. So the plan of the Duergar dwarves was to sell these slaves to the Aesir raiders for money. Back to the screen for the
alarm went
adventure. Jay.
Yep. When did it go off? A few seconds.
Oh, well, it's 7:55. Yep, that makes no sense. I mean, that makes sense. Okay, we're going to take a quick break in a minute, but before we do, any last things you guys want to do before we go on break? Any other things about these doors? We know they're not trapped. We know they're heavily reinforced strong wooden doors.
Are they locked?
They are locked, every one of them. And we know there's crying behind the one in the top left corner, and there is growling behind the one in the top right corner, and no noise coming from the center one.
So I would recommend that Thaddeus picks the lock on the one with the crying.
Bear and I are taking the one on the right, obviously.
Okay.
My big
Furry companion.
Big furry doggo.
Werewolf.
What,
I was
dire wolf.
Dire wolf.
Dire wolf.
Yeah, I was like, what's that big wolf called? Dire wolf. Like, he can absolutely deal with the hounds that may be in the cupboard. And
You might be able to.
and I'll be there with my whip to make them back off as
And
well.
if you have any real problems, we'll just join you.
Maybe they're hungry. I said feed them.
Do we have anything to feed them?
Well, we have rations.
We have dead dwarfs.
I guess you could throw them corpses.
Okay,
mean,
we're
they're
going to take a break right there with
canines
that. I'm going to
after
pull
all.
Josephine up to her token up to that spot. We're going to take a break. It is right now 7:57 p.m. Mountain Standard Time where we are at. For those of you watching the episode, that'll be the end of this episode. We thank you for watching, and we're going to start the next episode in 10 minutes. So for those of you watching live, stick around. For those of you watching the episode, look for our next episode. They'll all be up on YouTube eventually. And we'll see you soon. Let's go to Be Right Back screen. Bye-bye.
Birthday to you.
So, for everybody just tuning in, we just brought in birthday cakes. And
Oh, that's all right.
One boyfriend.
Okay, then I'll just take it back.
Wow.
We're gonna go
Oh my
cut them up.
goodness! No, we don't need cake right now, right? It's for we're playing.
The next break. we'll
so,
have-
for those at home,
You.
it is Rob and Amanda's birthdays today.
Or
And
yesterday.
uh, well, actually,
Monday, yeah.
Mine was the first.
it was
yours
last
is-
week, but we were away. Rob's was Monday this week. Amanda's was
Thursday.
last
Last week.
Thursday. Anyway, so we were just celebrating with a little bit of birthday cake on our break, and they just brought in birthday cakes for these guys.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks
you
so much. That's awesome. Very thoughtful.
Happy birthday, Rob.
Thank you, Amanda. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Oh, you guys are so sweet.
We got you a nose clipper.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's right.
Nose hair clipper.
Okay, so we're going to pick back up where we left off, and where we left off was
Opening the doors.
looking at these three doors. Now, Josephine had the idea for hers to try and provide some meat for these animals that are behind the door that you heard growling, which you figure are hounds, because that's what the slave list
The
said.
hounds, yeah, and because I've got my my buddy for backup, and he would take them all down if need
Okay.
be.
Do you know, I'm not sure that we stripped the other animals that we killed for meat. We stripped some of them for hide, but I don't think we made jerky out of them. We probably
You
should have
mean-
said something.
Well, the only other animals that you guys, which ones in the mine? that you're
No,
talking
no,
about?
Frog jerky?
No, yeah, I wonder frog jerky. How would that taste?
Legs,
legs aren't
the
bad.
legs, I guess.
believe it would be a little chewy.
Frogs' legs taste like chicken. They're not bad.
All right. Well, as Bear moves up to the door, and the growling behind it, all of a sudden you hear the growling. You can hear them. They catch whatever hounds are behind that door, catches whiff of Bear, and all of a sudden they're growling because they realize that there's a very big
There's an
dire wolf
alpha.
smell on the other side of the door, and there's a lot of scratching on the door now. Bear all of a sudden leaves you of his own accord and disappears from the room. About 30 seconds later, all of a sudden you hear something being dragged, and Bear comes back in dragging the nearest Duergar dwarf. And he drags this Duergar dwarf.
Such a good boy.
Oh, yes. You found the meat, didn't
Oh, we
you?
love you, Bear.
He drags this dead Duergar dwarf up to the door,
Yeah.
drops it there, and looks at you and goes, "Oh!" As in, open the door for these guys.
So I open the door and let Bear toss the body in.
But
They're locked.
wait,
the door is locked.
Oh,
See, that's why I was going to hit it with something. Or get Thaddeus
So-
to pick it.
Mind? Yeah.
Josephine's calling Thaddeus over. Thaddeus?
Not as good.
Well, you know that there are no traps at the door. You
Yeah.
examine the door, and it's a big, heavy door, and it's got a keyhole and a lock that appears to be exactly like all the locks of all of the other doors that you have found
Yeah,
in
you
this.
can
Oh, I'll use the key. I'll use the key.
So you pull the key out that you used. You had found a key previously in the mine, and sure enough, it's a master key, and it unlocks the door, and the door goes click. Do you want to open the door?
Does it open in or
I
out?
will let-
It opens inwards.
Opens inwards.
All other humanoids, please step back. I'll stay beside Bear because Bear will protect me, and he and I will proceed.
Okay. All right. So everybody else steps back. Lavinia, you're pretty close there with your token. I'll pull you away. Okay.
Thanks.
I'm
All
going
right.
to prepare a cantrip.
Okay. All right. As you open the door, there are two sets of eyes peering at You can see the light flashes off, and then they're peering at you from the darkness inside this room. It looks like the room isn't very big at all. What do you want to do, Josephine?
First of all, I would like to call Percy over.
Yes.
Percy,
Yes.
you have animal speak.
I have animal speak, so I will speak to them.
Yeah, would you mind letting
Do I have
us
to roll for
all
this?
letting us all know what's going
Yeah,
through
roll
their,
for it.
their brains right now?
Because they don't appear to be antagonistic. So
Roll on your keyboard,
They,
Mr.
they
Percy.
appear
Thank
to
you.
be hungry and
not great. 5 plus 11, so 16.
Okay, well, that's enough.
Is it? Okay.
You bet.
All right. And I asked them, "How are you? We are friends. We have come here to slay the dwarves and free the slaves."
These hounds look like they are not regular dogs. They are, in fact, big and massive and muscular. When you get some light on them so that you can see what they actually look like, they actually look like this. This one's in the forest. Both of them look like this. They're both salivating pretty strongly. Did it not show up behind me? Oh, it
Not
did
behind you,
behind
but on both of these others.
All right,
Yeah.
let's just try this then. There, okay.
There it is.
So they're salivating pretty strongly, and what you get from both of them are like, whoa, 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 and they're looking down at the dead Duergar body.
Help
and they're
yourselves.
They're just waiting, right? They also sniff and see Bear the direwolf in the back, right? And so they're a little bit afraid of him, but they're starving and they're just waiting, quivering in hunger to try and eat something.
Can you tell them, please? Normally, we don't eat people. Normally, we don't eat people. That's not allowed. But these are the people that hurt you. So go ahead.
These people hurt you. We don't normally eat people, but they're bad. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Right. So in their little dog brains, they're like, ignore everything else you just said and go food. Rah! And they both
Eat.
pounce on this dead Duergar dwarf and start tearing into him and starting eating him up. And they ignore everything else. Like
Can we
they kind of
close
keep
the
one eye
door
on
and go
you.
Away? Do we need them?
No.
No, but they are with the other.
They might be
Captives?
mascots or familiars of the other captives.
No. Okay.
We need to assess that.
Okay, so you have now fed the two hounds that you found, and you can continue on with what you're going to do next. Raven, you had prepared a cantrip. Did you want to do your cantrip at all?
No, I'll let it disperse.
All right, Lavinia, have you got anything else you want to do at this time?
No, I'm staying out of the way of the dogs.
All right, then I'm jumping over. We'll go clockwise again around the table. Thaddeus, what's next?
The door of the crying person.
You're going to go over to the crying person. That's actually called 8B. Sure enough, you go over to that door and you open up that door here. I think we'll go to triple would be better.
Before we open it, can we sit outside and sing "No more, no more of the crying games"? No more, no more, no more of them crying games. Please tell me you guys know this song.
I do, but not to that set of notes.
So as Josephine strangely goes over to the door and starts singing, all of a sudden the crying and the whimpering behind the door stops. There's no noise at all, as clearly whoever is behind the door has heard that sound and is puzzled and afraid of what's going to happen. You hear some shuffling and hear the clinking of chains. Do you want to open the door, Thaddeus?
Yeah.
I will open the door with Thaddeus.
Okay, so Percy goes over just in case he needs to provide any muscle.
Yeah.
I'm going to clean up that and open up the fog of war. I forgot to do fog of war on both of these, so we're going to do that now. Maybe if it will. This is the problem, is that this little add-on is always slow to update, fog of war, and that's what slows down my PC, is when it does that kind of crap. It makes me frustrated. Okay, there we go. As you open up the door and it swings open, you see inside 3 men. All 3 of them have got manacles on, and they are chained to the walls of this, what used to be a storeroom.
Sorry, not one, but 3 whiny men?
There are 3 men. There is a very big one. There's an older man. And then there is a very thin, middle-aged man who's still sitting on the floor, who looks quite distraught. All 3 of them are there standing and waiting. They don't know what to expect. They can't really see very well as you can, because, you know, Thaddeus is holding up his glowing leather armor that he stole off a dead Duergar dwarf. What do you wish to do?
Good evening, gentlemen. We've come to rescue you.
And they say, beware, there are dwarves.
Yes, we know. We've dealt with them.
So they don't have much to say, but they hold out their arms with the chains to have the chains unlocked.
And I try this key.
The master key.
The master key does not work on the manacles. It apparently only works on door keys.
And then his other key?
And there's another key I've got as well that I might as well try while I've got it.
You try it as well. Is it a key that...
I think it's something I got in Orisol's.
Looting the Duergar... Oh my god.
What?
Do you remember that broken Duergar dwarf who was the leader of all of them last week? That you
Looted at that time.
that he was the wrong level. He was way too powerful, so I just had to delete him from the game.
Yeah,
he had the key.
That dude
had the key
had
for the cuffs.
the damn key on him. He also had a key, and the key head was in the shape of a fish, and the key was actually called the fish key. Okay, the reason I tell you this is because you found this on the dwarfs. We're role-playing this.
Okay.
You found this on the dwarfs. It's a little fish-headed key.
Fish-headed key.
Does not fit these manacles. Looks like the key for the manacles was another smaller key found on this guy. You find the 3rd key does fit,
All right.
and unlocks all the sets of the manacles.
Sweet.
Right? All 3 of them try to get to their feet. The oldest one in the back says, "What? Water? Water?"
I think
and
we can
asks
oblige.
for some water.
I think we've all got
By the way, are those dogs yours as well?
What? No, those hounds belong to the Duergar.
they belong to Bear now.
So in the distance, you can still hear 2 hounds going nom, 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 and eating. Now, Bear has gone with you over to this part, unless you're going to supervise where you were. Bear will just stay with you wherever
We're
you
only
are.
one door over. We're right beside the other door.
I think we could probably give them some water and some
Oh, absolutely, we can.
some hardtack rations, and
Yeah, we have
Hopefully
some
they
water
can-
for sure.
Let's get you some food and drink, and settle down in the next room.
Now, Percy, I know that like Bear and I are like very bonded. He is me and I am him. However, I can't communicate with him on the same level that you can. You can communicate types of words. So I need you to help me to help Bear get these hounds on our side as opposed to being aggressive towards us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bear, good doggies or bad doggies?
And Bear looks at you and says, wild doggies. Captured by dwarves. Doggies want to be free. Doggies going to leave.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if they can help us get out,
Okay.
if they can help us get out, once we get out, we will let them be as free as they want to be.
Okay, well, I'll talk to the two doggies. Help us find a way out. We want out.
Dogs
know
look
the
at
way.
you. Dogs are like, still eating, but yes.
Okay. When you're done.
Go out soon.
Yes.
Soon done
And we need
eat.
to check the third room.
The third room. Okay, so going back to the adventure screen, you've got one room that's still left. Now, while you're doing this, the older fellow of the three that you've captured finally starts to speak to you and says, my name's Peyton. Thank you so much for helping us. What happened to my son's wife, Celiana? Did you see Celiana?
Oh, is that the woman we found?
Could be the one we found
right
that was
outside the
dead.
fire?
Yeah.
Encampment, yes. I think we found her remains at the encampment.
Does anyone have that letter? It might have been addressed to or from Celiana.
It was actually written by the younger of these three that you see here, the one that has been sitting down and crying. Oh, I'm wrong about that. He's the name Peyton. The older man that talked to you, his name is Hadrian. He says his name is Hadrian. The youngest one is called Peyton. He's the one who's been crying, and he starts to cry again, and he's like, she's dead. She's dead. I saw them kill her. She's dead. And he starts to cry again. Hadrian says, I'm sorry for my son, but he's taking it bad. And then the really big one, who is as big as Percy, says, my name is Thomas. And he says, we should go. We need to get out of here. We should go as soon as we can. We haven't seen the light of day for I don't know how many days.
2 weeks, I think it's been like. Mm-hmm.
So they're also, by the way, do you have any food? I'm very hungry.
Yes.
So you guys, I assume, are sharing food with them.
Yes.
Thaddeus, you want to go and look at the third room?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Thaddeus goes and he examines the door on the third room, and sure enough, that key opens the door. You rolled a really, really high search check when you were in that submerged room with the floating thing, or you never would have found that key on the wall. You never would have noticed it. So it has made things a lot quicker and easier. I'm going to remove the fog from the third room. As you open the door to the third room, sitting right in the middle of the floor on the third room is a great big locker with a big lock on the front.
Checking for traps.
You
Nine-
check it for traps, and there are
19.
no traps. But it's got a lock on the front. Let's see if this. I want to see if this works.
Thank you.
If you double click the lock on the front, you very clearly see that the lock on the front of it is a keyhole with a couple of fish, and this is clearly one of
Fish
the
key.
fisherman's lockers. So you pull out the fish key, and sure enough, the image of the fish on the head of the key matches the key plate that's on the outside of this lock. And this is where I'm frustrated, because I set up this puzzle so that Thaddeus could literally, from his inventory, drag the fish key, drop it on this lock, and as he let go of the fish key on this lock, the thing would open. Click.
Oh, it would do an animated
That would
It would
open.
actually click open.
That would be so cool.
It would be nice. So instead of that, you'll see that it has failed to unlock because fish key problems. So I have to now manually mess around with this. Give me one moment while I do that. We got to go to treasure. We're going to find the fisherman's locker. And I'm going to change ownership. All players are now owners. And you should now... Can you just double click and open it? Oh my God, no, you can't. Can I unlock it? Lock type, configure. Can I just delete it? None. Okay, all right, hold on. I got it. I fixed it. Try double clicking it now.
I did, but I just got the lock, and I can't seem to get out of the lock.
Okay,
I was
close.
able to open
Click
it.
the little X to
You little
close the
brat.
screen. You know the screen that's got the lock plate? Click that little X in the bottom right corner to close that screen so that you can see the locker again, and then double click it and you can open it.
Oh,
Did that work for you?
There is no little
There
X.
is some yew wood here, which can be used for making bows.
You've still
Did-
just
did
got a
someone-
screen.
Open it that shouldn't have.
You can all open it now and look at it.
No, we can't.
Okay.
No, you can't.
So on your screen,
Yep.
it's a black screen with a little plate, right?
Yes.
On the right hand side, are there any icons like a
No.
lock and an
No.
X and
X
a
out.
zoom in and a zoom out?
X out of it.
X out of what?
Right here. X.
Oh, there.
X. Okay. And
There,
then just
okay.
double click it again.
Okay.
There you go.
I was looking in the wrong place
There you
for the
go.
X.
Okay, you're good.
Thank you.
Now you can look and find out what are the items in the fisherman's locker.
Ooh, cool ones.
And you find quite a few interesting things in here.
Kind of disappointing that there's no preserved food for the prisoners.
Apparently, the Duergar have taken all the food, and I don't think that the food was in this locker anyways. It was probably with their other supplies at the camp.
Hey, there's sage.
If
Planting
only
the
you guys
sage.
had some ration tonics you could give them to drink.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, yay, metagaming. You've got these. Let's feed these prisoners. And the hounds.
We got lots of these dwarves.
You could feed them the dwarves, is what you're thinking?
No, I'm kidding.
Like
That would be
the
rude.
people aren't gonna eat. The hounds will eat the dwarves, but the people won't.
Okay,
Let me
so
see if I
We're
can
not
find my
serving
stuff
dwarves.
that is in the fisherman's locker to move things along. There's an unusual belt. There is a pamphlet that says Bracers of Missile Deflection. This pamphlet describes how a leather worker can make bracers of missile deflection. It illustrates the materials required and how to create the item. I wonder who is a leather worker in this group right here. Percy, right?
Yep.
There's also a pamphlet of smoke screen snare.
That would be me.
This describes, no, it will not. This
not?
describes how a person with extensive woodcraft or stealth ability can create a particular snare. The two people that can make snares are our sneaky thievy type rogue person and our woodcrafter who is Percy. So Percy and Thaddeus can both make these. Oh, by the way, I forgot. I'm going to backtrack for a second. Josephine thought about the dogs and she thought about bringing up Bear to check on the dogs instead of just opening the door and fighting the dogs. So she gets a hero point for that. I had a hero point already for that.
Oh,
There was a
'Cause you
thing
were a
of
genius.
sage here that I was just about to move over.
I got it.
You've got it.
There's also
I'm gonna
a
ask you to send it to
pamphlet.
me because I need it for one of my
Okay.
recipes.
A pamphlet of Onyx Panther. This pamphlet describes how a person with the gem crafting ability can make a certain magical gem or talisman.
That would be
It
me.
describes the materials required and how to create the item, Onyx Panther.
So, do I move it over or can you move it?
You can take it. Now remember these pamphlets, once you discover them, we're not going to need the pamphlet anymore because I'm simply going to activate the copy of the pamphlet that's in your crafting books. But hold on to it until you can find it in your crafting book so that I remember. All right. There's some yew wood, some diamond willow fungus, some charcoal, some cedar, and that's it. At the bottom, it's got the container fisherman's locker,
I
which
think
is
that
actual
the description
container.
of that is hilarious. This waterproof locker smells faintly of fish.
Yes, that's right.
Really, do we really want to lug around a trunk with us? No, it's great that it was useful at that point, but yeah.
I'm moving unusual belt over to my stuff.
Well, I would like to examine it with an arcane check.
Yeah, okay. Well, do
You
that.
would like to identify the unusual belt?
The belt or the chest?
Yes.
The belt.
The unusual belt.
Unusual.
You will need to, for some reason. Oh no, I'm on the wrong. Never mind. I was like, oh, I can't do it, but that's because I'm on the wrong character. Roll to identify it.
Okay, so is it an arcana check?
Yes, it'll be an arcane check.
So I rolled an 11 plus 10 is 21.
21 is good enough to identify this item, and it appears to be a lifting belt.
Oh, that was one of the things that I almost bought from more.
So
The other
it
guy.
says this wide leather belt grants you a +1 item bonus to athletics checks and increases the amount you can easily carry. You can carry bulk equal to 6+ your strength modifier
because there's
before
stuff-
becoming encumbered, and you can hold and carry a total bulk of up to 11 plus your strength modifier. Now, for the most part, we don't really play with encumbrance very much, but if things get out of hand, then I will then,
Or if I was trying to help
balance it.
lift something and I just wasn't strong enough to do it because I don't have a very high strength check, then if I had my lifting belt on, it would help me lift it.
Yes. Now you have a scroll belt, so you're going to have to decide which one you're going to wear, and you're going to have it equipped before that'll work for you. It also says invested, which means that it's a magical item that you have to wear, and then invested means like imbued. You, after a little bit of time, it works for you. Okay. All right. So that is the other thing. That's the last thing that's in the locker.
I will move it over into my equipment, and if somebody else wants it, they can.
What's the actual the D&D term? Like in the D&D movie, I was just watching it the other day, and the guy was like trying to put the helmet on over and over and over again.
Attuned.
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 Thank you.
Correct.
Yeah.
But that's a D&D name, so we use
I know.
the Pathfinder name.
Okay.
So there are items that you have that sometimes need to be invested, which kind of means empowered with magical essence, I guess. But that's what it means, is in tune, really.
May I take a 2 seconds to shout out to my friend Mousy, who not only has lent me her doggo's face to be bear, which is like the most beautiful bear that ever could exist, because it's Fenrir's face. But she also sends ridiculous wizarding memes that I get to share with you guys. Today's was I cast nuh-uh.
Oh, that one I saw that.
That's cute. That was cute.
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
As an encounter spell.
I can't wait until Glenn gets the chance to nuh-uh something.
Here, we'll zoom in on Bear so you can see the awesome new face that he's got, so that we can see. Let me get him here, and I'll zoom him right in. Do. There's Bear's doggo token now.
Oh, derpy dog.
He's beautiful. He's a oh gosh, like not a German Shepherd,
Malinois?
but
Belgian Malinois?
Belgian Malinois.
Yeah,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, he's being trained to be a very
Dwarf eater. You're training to be a dwarf.
he's trained to be a dwarf.
Eat
He's trained to
dwarves.
be a dwarf eater, and Mousy is out with him every day, and he catches all the bad guys that come down from the trees, aka squirrels.
Oh, no.
And he goes into the lake to make sure that there's no bad guys in there. And he's just a very good boy, and I'm happy to have him as my companion. Thank you,
Okay.
Mousy, for sharing him with us.
So you now have basically found the stuff that was in the locker. One of the things that you find in the... No, you don't find it there. Sorry. That's for another part of the adventure. Never mind. What are you going to do with your three
Nothing to see here.
your three redeemed prisoners and your 2 dogs?
Well, we should.
Hey, how come
I
the
think-
dogs aren't on here? Oh, I forgot to
I
actually
think the
make
dogs
the
should be
visible.
allowed to lead us out of the caves.
Yes.
Yes, but should the dogs be restrained in any sort of way, harnessed, or are they going to be our guides?
They're going to be our guides.
Like our wild guides? Yes.
I think I can trust them.
You
I
feel
got
we
that
can
impulse
trust them?
from
Okay, okay. So I was wondering, do we have to fasten them with
Yeah.
some sort of harnesses, leashes?
Well,
sort
I
of
mean,
thing?
I will ask them, are you finished, my friends? Can you lead the way out of the caves?
One of the dogs licks his chops, looks up from chewing on what's left of a Duergar foot, and looks at you and goes, "Okay, go now.
Yeah.
Water, need water, looking water, going outside water.
Yeah.
Want
I pull out
outside
a jug
light
of
and
water.
You can create water, can't you?
Not really. I mean, if I had that
Well, I
as,
think
as one of
if
my spells.
we allowed them, they will just find water outside.
I know, but like, can we give them water in the meantime before we
So they
go?
don't need to go
They
outside.
don't wait for you. They start
okay,
to
okay.
move down
Let's go.
the hallway past you,
Mm-hmm.
and
Let's go, guys.
and
I'm assisting the old guy.
and you hear one's in the front snuffling, the other is like, "Smell water this way," and they begin to all go. I'm going to go back to adventure screen, give you guys an idea of what's happening here. I'm going to zoom this out a little bit so that you can see the whole thing like this. And let me go back and control them now.
I think we need to go to 9A and then straight south.
As they move fairly quickly. You're going to have a hard time keeping up with them. They pass through this doorway, and then all of a sudden you hear some "Arr, arr, 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 arr." And who's going to follow first? You guys can all follow. Get your tokens going.
Obviously, Bear is right behind them, and I'm chasing after Bear.
Okay, I'm going to take you guys behind them right away. Josephine, as you come around the corner, you see them jumping on and jumping through an illusion of a big spider that's sitting here, trying to figure out how come they can't fight and bite this spider that's sitting here. They sniff around for a little while. They can't understand the puzzle, so they suddenly go down, and they head down this other way to where there's water at the bottom of this particular... Oh, I've got to move it up on the other screen for you.
Yeah, we've been there, right?
Yeah.
There's water.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely water.
They go to the place where the underwater barracks is, and you can just hear them both at the end of this hallway going slop, 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 slop. And they are now drinking there. You, is this spider illusion? What are we doing with the spider illusion, Raven?
I'm not sure that I can uncast it. I'll have to check.
All right, I'm just going to say it fades from view.
Sure.
How's that
It
sound?
served its purpose.
Once it was discovered and pounced on by the
That's usually what happens in the movies.
Yes.
Something pounces or puts through it, and then it fades away.
So Percy is the one that's behind you along with Josephine and Bear. And it looks like Percy has come up to the point at which there are controls for a bridge that extends across the mud pit.
What's there in number 5, guys?
Oh, we
Oh,
did
number
that.
5 is alive.
Oh, okay.
And the middle one, did we ever check that? Oh, yeah, sorry. I lied. Never mind.
So number 5 was the supply room that you guys completely looted.
It's still glowing and looking kind of enticing. That's why.
Oh, there's a light spell.
Uh,
We haven't pursued the bottom right yet. There's one darkened space.
But it
do
doesn't
we
go
need
far.
to?
Okay, we did what we came here to do.
Okay, I'm going to say that the 3 prisoners are also very keen on getting the hell out of here. So they are following right behind Thaddeus. Lavinia, are you following with everybody as well?
I am.
Okay, I'm gonna try and
Can
extend
you
the
get
bridge.
your mini to move there? Here, I'll drag it way over to the middle.
Can you
so
please
you've
do
got
that?
it. Okay.
Extend the. Okay, so we are not going back under the underwater cavern, dipping under
Nope.
again. Okay.
Nope.
So as Percy gets up to the place, he can clearly see the mechanism with the lever for the bridge.
Okay. I will flip the lever for the bridge.
So Percy flips the lever for
And
the
monkey
bridge.
flips the switch.
And the monkey flips. And I know what that. Do you guys know what movie that comes from?
And the monkey flips the switch.
Lost in Space.
Yes, indeed.
Look at that. Rob and I are on the same wavelength here. Okay, I'm zooming this in just a little bit so that.
And I love the first part of that movie. I hated the second half.
The coolest part of that movie is still Gary Oldman playing that.
Right?
Playing the duplicitous
Dr. Smith.
doctor guy. Oh God, he was so good as usual,
great.
as he always is.
I have to admit, I don't think I've ever seen the original version of that movie, and I think I watched the remake back in the early 2000s, and it wasn't good, so I stopped watching
That's
it
the
as
remake.
well.
Well, I think Lost in Space started out as a TV series.
Yes,
It
in
was.
the
Okay.
60s.
And
With Bill Mumy.
then they did the movie in the very early 2000s, and it starred William Hurt
Mhm.
and Matt. Oh, I don't remember his name from Friends.
Yeah.
Joe, guy who plays Joey in Friends,
Mm.
and Gary Oldman was the bad
Gary
guy,
Oldman was the great Dr. Smith.
and he did a great job of Dr.
Yeah,
Smith.
he
Keep hearing
Genius.
clickety
I
clickety
think
click.
I didn't like that movie.
Glenn's playing with his dice.
Yeah, you know, he's like rolling them around over the other side of the table over there. But also another one that someone pointed out to me that I have not seen is Planet of the Apes. Any of the Planet of the Apes movies, and there's like 17 or something like that. There's like as many Planet of the Apes movies as
There
there
were
are Godzilla
4 of them in the
movies or
60s?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Late 60s, early 70s. They
Early
did
70s,
4.
yeah.
Charlton Heston was in the best known one.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've done a reboot of Planet of the Apes in the last 5 years, 7 years, something like that.
Yep.
There's been a recent one as well. Kingdom
yeah,
of
I
the
think
Planet
that's
of the Apes.
Did the lever
That's
work?
this year's Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the game.
Did the lever work?
That's right. So Percy throws the lever, and sure enough, ka-chink, chink, 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 and a bridge. And I don't have an animation for the bridge, so you're just going to have to imagine that it's there. A bridge extends right across the mud pit to the exit.
Like a bridge over troubled mud pit, I will reach along.
So there's now a bridge here, a nice long bridge. I could probably just draw something.
Mr. Redfeather, you're in the way again.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just going to draw a bridge. It is
You
a
gonna draw
white bridge. I'm gonna draw a bridge. That's right. Okay, so Percy is far ahead of everybody, and he has gone across a bridge. It looks like Thaddeus is following. Was everybody else going out too?
Yeah, I said yes, we're all going. Yes, we're all going. Everyone is going across the bridge and trying to get the hell out of here. Towards fresh air.
built a bridge. Don't think it's time.
Okay, they're all
Don't
there.
think it's time.
And on the other side of the bridge,
Look at
you
us all
take
go,
a quick left and right. Oh, I didn't have it on the right screen for this. Okay, there we go. A quick left and right, and you are out. You are free.
Fresh air, fresh
You
air.
have
You'll
made
know how
it.
much I hate being underground. Oh my God.
As you come out, you can only guess it must be sometime in the afternoon based on where the sun is. I'm going to... Where's mine one? I'm going to find the scene called mine number one.
See, I thought you would have known
hell?
that. That's country. The Judds, baby. The Judds.
Why do you assume that I know anything that's country?
Love can build a bridge. You know?
So You are out of the mine.
Yay!
Yay!
You've got your three prisoners that you have rescued.
Hmm.
And how come I can't? Is it under Feywild? Mine 1. That's it. You find yourself emerging
To the sound of a bell.
That
to
bell
the
was really
sound of
quiet,
a bell. How come it didn't give it to everyone when I wanted it to? There we go.
I have friends who would probably know that song. However, I am not a
Okay.
huge country. Oh, and Michelle, my younger sister, might actually know
She would
that.
know it, yeah.
She's
I'm sure
she's like
Michelle would.
bluegrass
She
and-
worships the judge, I'm sure.
So you are out and you are free. And there is the final map showing everybody out. Your prisoners aren't on this screen yet, but you are
Did the
here.
dogs run away?
And the dogs have remained in the mine
The
drinking.
water. Yeah.
As you emerge, all of a sudden you hear them coming behind you. They push past you and run out into the forest, and that's the last you see of them.
Okay.
Goodbye, puppies.
Got to put GPS trackers on.
Okay,
Bear
we-
knows what they smell like now, and they know what
Oh, yeah,
bear
yeah,
smells
fine.
like. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to take a break here. We have finished our 40-minute session. We're going to have one more session tonight. Right now, it is 8:51 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
And it's cake time.
We're all going to eat some birthday cake. Hooray! Because
The cake is not a lie.
it's Rob and Amanda's birthdays. And what's that from? The cake is not a lie. That is from Portals.
Portal.
Yeah. Great game. Portals was
Video
awesome.
game, yeah.
a game?
It was a game.
The game.
It was a video game.
How are normal people supposed to know this?
That's just because Portal is legendary as a game.
Portals is a legendary game. It
It's a
was
legendary
genius.
game.
We might talk
Genius.
about it later.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to say good night to everybody who's
Love you.
watching this episode.
Good night,
To
Thank
those
you,
that are watching our
everybody.
live, stick around.
We'll be
We
back
are
in a few
going to
minutes.
be back at 9:05.
9:05.
Okay?
12 point some
Mountain
minutes
Standard
from now.
Time. Right, like 12 minutes. So we'll see you all then.
Dave, would you help cut the cake?
Okay, and welcome back. We are on our third episode tonight of the gaming session we're playing here. It's a beginning of August, more or less, and we have just been. We've just made it out of a place called Shallow Creek Mine. I'm gonna show you real quick this mine, just for those of you that need a recap or a review. The party has made it out of this mine. This mine was something we played over the last 3 nights. This is our fourth night in the mine. And there it is. I'm going to just show you what the players have been involved in. They went through all of this mine. Finally rescued the prisoners at the very back of this mine. And have freed them from the prison they were in, have made it back out of the mine through the front gate that is here. And this is exactly, sorry, this is exactly where they are right now. Trying to get it to load.
So since we're outside, and we've got the prisoners with us, we should let them know. Okay, just to let you know, we do need to set up camp. All of us need rest, but we cannot light any fire.
I have a question. What race are our prisoners?
Your prisoners are all humans, like you.
Okay, because I was a little concerned there. I thought we never even thought to question were they elves or were they other dwarves.
I figured since they were taller than you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your prisoners now tell you part of their story, and there are 3 of them, as we discussed. There's an older man named Hadrian. Hadrian Crew is his name, and he's an older fisherman. He tells you he's from a place called Saltshore. That's just on the east coast, on the other side of Feywood.
Oh.
He and his 2 sons and his son's daughter had been making their way back to Saltshore from Cahokia. So we're going to switch to the screen for the map to give everybody an idea of what is where so that you can see. Right now, you are all...
Can you put
it
it
would
on
be
the back
better. Isn't it on the back? Oh, it's not on the back screen. Hold on. Thank you for letting me know that.
Thank you.
There we go. So right now, the place that this mine is right where I've got this little green arrow, right where that cursor is. That's where the Shallow Creek abandoned mine is. Your prisoners had been... They point out on your map for you that Saltshore is right here. You see where...
Your main.
All right. The Saltshore is on the eastern coast.
Where are we pointing here? I'm sorry, I can't see.
So on your main screen behind you, Dave, when you stop moving your mouse, it disappears after a second or 2.
How about if I do that?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So it just disappears on you there. So this is where the Saltshore is located.
Okay.
They had traveled from Saltshore with their wagons. The oldest son is a trader, and the father and the other son are the fishermen. And they had taken a load of salted fish because it's Saltshore, and there are large salt deposits there, and there's a salt marsh there. They had taken a load of fish westward all the way to sell at Cahokia.
Over there.
On their way back, they ran into problems. They had planned to cut through the Feywood again, and they ran into problems like you did at Angel Bridge, and they weren't able to cross into the Feywood, go through the Feywood back to Saltshore, and they had to go the north way, and they were ambushed by the Duergar Raiders, who happened to be nearby at the abandoned Shallow Creek mine. It was in that altercation at the looted camp that Peyton crew, the youngest of the three, there's Thomas and Peyton are the sons, and I believe it is, let's go like this. Will that help? No, it will not. All right. Well, we'll go back a Wilder bunch. Thomas is the trader. Peyton is the younger fisherman. It's his wife that the Duergar dwarves killed in the altercation. Perhaps accidentally. Anyways, they were returning with, after having sold all their fish when they were waylaid like this. So they would like you to lead them back to the camp so that they can recover what's left of their belongings. They know that they're going to have to make their way on foot because there are no longer any horses attached to their wagon. By the time you got to the wagon, the horses had been cut free by the Duergar and were long gone.
I was going to ask, do they have anything left after their transactions of selling their fish, or has that all been taken from
They
them?
kind of look at each other and they look at you and say, no, the Duergar dwarves took it all.
And like, we're not trying to take it from you. I'm just asking for your own well-being.
Well, they ask for a moment to talk to each other, and they move off to the side, and in hushed voices they talk to each other, and the son keeps looking at you and looking back at them and nodding his head no, but the big trader and the father seem to have come to some kind of agreement, and they come back up and they say, look, since you've rescued us, we would like to try and make we would try and make a deal with you. It's going to be very dangerous for us to try and get back to Saltshore on our own. If you would accompany us and take us there as our guards, we will share with you half of the proceeds that of the profits that we made from our sales in Cahokia.
And
So they wait for you guys to discuss it
may
and
we
decide.
discuss, the five of us, and personally,
So they go off to stand at the side so they're out of earshot.
these people have been through a lot. They've lost everything. I think that we are more in the position of just being able to help out of the goodness of our hearts.
Yeah,
and,
without collecting half of
do you
everything
need
that they.
to
Yeah, we don't need it.
We
collect
don't really need it.
from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. We always need gold.
What we will earn is human experience, which is always valuable.
And it will come back to help us at one point in time.
Real
I mean,
life
we
karma
may-
is a thing.
We certainly have enough that we can probably supply it and give them some supplies.
Well, that's
Maybe
the
a few
thing.
weapons.
We've got a lot more than they do.
Yes.
So like, let's help them along their way, protect them.
Or if the trader is a trader, maybe he would like to trade with us.
They don't have anything. Everything was taken by the Duergar.
Including
everything-
half of their profits, I imagine.
I would imagine that as well.
Also, there may still be a young woman who is several days deceased now at their site that might need a proper burial or a send off.
Well, that makes sense. We want to help them as
We have to go. We have to go back past the encampment, anyways.
Yeah, in order to get to
And the other
to
thing
bridge.
too is that they might be able to tell us a little bit more about how to get into Feywood, because don't forget about what we actually
We
are.
are here. Yes,
supposed
we
to
are
do.
here to go and connect with the Fae.
And it wouldn't hurt to talk to them about the cause and why we are here
Mhm.
and our mission from
the underlying cause.
yes,
So that
and
they're
so that they can spread the word to their people.
Because the more
Potential
allies we have,
ally.
the better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which reminds me,
Simon, go outside
I
and
need
look
to find a
outside.
good place to leave a message.
Oh, are you going to leave a message up
Of course I
in
am.
front of the mine
Of course I am.
with some stones? All right. Oh, and here it is. All right, this message. So Thaddeus goes just Simon. So we have a little dog. His name is Simon. He doesn't want to be picked up. He doesn't want us to come near him while we're playing the game, but he wants to bug us because he would prefer that instead of us playing this game, we all went and sat on the couch in the living room where his bed is so that he could be properly petted for the rest of the night.
And he literally does not bark any other time other than...
That's right. Other than when we're playing and ignoring him. So going back to what Thaddeus decides is that he finds out in the grassy field in front of the mine, he gathers a bunch of stones and he lays out in a whole bunch of stones, Pronos cum clava ferus. Pronos cum clava ferus.
Down with the iron.
Down with the iron fist.
Down with
Club.
iron cudgel.
Club.
That is not a fist. That is a
Not a
club
fist.
or a cudgel.
Yes.
And if you want to know why he has strong feelings about the whole Iron Fist thing, read his backstory and read some of the backstory of our whole campaign. Our entire campaign has a fairly loosely sketched backstory on our website. And our website is wildermage.com, WYLDERMAGE.com. Takes a couple minutes for it to load, but it's worth it. You can see all of our profiles and our story there. Okay, so are you then going back to talk to the three prisoners? Well, we're going to call them, the Hadrian the fisherman and his two sons. Now that you have made your decision, what have you decided?
Yeah, let's talk to them, and I think I speak for all of us when I say we do not wish to draw upon your resources any further, and we would like to help you in your quest to get back. We may also need any information you have about the forest that can guide us and get us through troubles without undue kerfuffle. And that's technically.
Okay, you see visible relief on their faces that you are going to that you're going to help them out because they're without very much means.
No.
They're not even sure where they are in relation to where they were taken because, of course, there were hoods thrown over their heads. It was dark, and they were trooped off to this strange mine.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't even have rations for the trip, much less weapons or any other things.
Did they know that the young woman was slain?
Yeah.
Peyton, the husband of the dead woman, is still pretty badly broken up about it. He also does not trust you. He's been pretty traumatized by the entire thing. So he's the one that says less than the other ones. There's visible relief on their faces, as I said. And so Hadrian, the father, says to you, okay, well, we don't want you to think that we're deeply appreciative that you have rescued us, and we don't want you to think that we're used to taking any charity. We always try and pay our own way. We managed, as we always do, to lay something aside and keep it safe before we were attacked. And if you will lead us back to the looted camp, we can pay our own way.
May I talk to Peyton?
Yeah, okay. And so Josephine goes up and talks to Peyton. And what does Josephine say to Peyton?
And I just place a hand on his arm and say that I had to bury my loved ones as well. This is extremely difficult. Just know that we have no malintent. All of us who are here have lost pretty much everything, and now we are on a journey to just make things right in the world and right for everyone involved, and you're part of that. And we want you to know, like, we absolutely understand how deeply your loss is. We saw her and we felt for you, and we didn't even know you yet. And so it's our privilege to be able to accompany you back, to be able to put this beautiful woman to rest. And we are so sorry for your loss.
All right. And he's deeply appreciative of you comforting him. He's still very much in shock. He's having a hard time dealing with that's not him, dealing with this whole thing. I'm going to show you really quickly a picture. This is an actual picture of Hadrian, the fisherman.
Oh, he has
Is
a
it up on our
friendly face.
back screen?
I like his face.
It's not on the adventure screen.
Definitely Michael Douglas.
Looks
Why
like
is it
Lothar.
not on the adventure
Right,
screen?
yeah, it looks like Lothar.
And look at those eyes. He has a friendly face.
What
With
happened?
little smile lines on his cheeks.
Sorry, it's not on the adventure screen. That was my fault. Let me try that again. There we go. That's what he looks like. That's the older fisherman. I have got to correct the adventure screen as well.
Kirk
Here, let
Douglas.
me start that again. Gamer
Yeah,
on TV.
Kirk Douglas.
I'm thinking
Alright.
Kirk Douglas. Yeah,
Mhm.
You think he looks like Kirk Douglas a little bit?
A little bit.
a little bit.
We figured it was Kirk Douglas or like Lothar.
I think more Kirk Douglas than Lothar, personally.
His son is also quite a big, burly looking fellow. He actually looks much heavier looking guy, and he looks like this. That's what his son, the
Thomas.
trader, that's Thomas Crew, the trader.
Mm.
And the other son who's, let me see, is this him here? The other son, oh, this isn't him. But we're going to go with this guy anyways. This guy's older than what the actual real character in the game is, but we'll go with him anyways. But he's a slimmer fellow like this, a younger version of the guy like this. All right. The main guy and the most important guy is this guy.
Oh my God, it's Daryl. he needs a crossbow.
So,
The most important one is the elderly fisherman.
Hadrian, that's right. So now the three of them have made this agreement with you. Is that right? Or you're going to go back to the looted camp?
Yeah,
Yep.
we're gonna go back to the looted camp. So let's just get underway now. What's happened to our elephant? It's despawned, so it's gone back into a figure?
Yeah, and there's only 3 more uses left.
I think it's 3 more.
Does anyone remember?
Per month.
Yeah, we've used 2 of them out of 5.
Yeah, per month. So
You've used two of them out of 4. You have 2 left.
Mm.
Okay,
All right.
so we're escorting them back to their camp.
Now, do you want
I
to
don't think we
produce
should
the
do
elephant because it was only
No.
a very short distance from the camp north to
Yeah, no,
the
I
camp
don't
Sue's-
want to use the
Plus,
Sue's
elephant.
there's
by foot.
8 of us who would have to ride on the mastodon.
yeah, that'd be crazy.
Let's just do it on foot.
Okay, as you go back to the looted camp, I'm going to pop the screen back to where it
The
was. There
camp
we
is
go.
still outside of Baywoods because
Yes, it is.
They had a fire.
Yeah.
You have not made it into Feywood yet.
No.
If you need to have a quick look, remember you can always go to the journal, right? And under the journal, you've got a map you did find. Close that off.
Oh, no, there's sound.
That might be
Rob,
from
close
the
your
TV.
sound off, please.
Might be from the TV.
Oh, is it my sound?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Oh no, it's my TV. Okay, let me kill that.
Okay.
There.
So under maps,
It was your
remember
ambient
you
sound.
ended up with this very crude map of the Shallow Creek mine, and it actually showed you the local regional area. Where the troll bridge was, where the abandoned mine was, and the looted camp was at this joint right here. If you guys recall that. Is that on the screen behind me? No, it's not. Of course not. Let's get back to... I always have too many damn buttons to click to get this to work. Okay, so it only takes you a few minutes, I'd say an hour to get back to the camp. When you get back to the camp, I believe I have it on the screen below. Oh, hold on, let me get it on the table the right way.
Wow.
There you go. Just like so. So there we go. The table map should look good. Yes. Okay. When you get back to the looted camp, Thomas, the big one, asks to borrow a shovel from one of you.
Okay.
Who's going to give him a
who
shovel?
are we using for people? Because we've got some.
Rob, have you still got your
You got
sound
your
on?
sound on again.
Oh, shoot. What the heck did it do that for?
What are you
Turns
using
out-
for people, did you say? Are you talking about
for our
tokens?
friends that are traveling with us?
Yeah, tokens are like our icons because we're there. Or are we just like
We're just going to
ignoring?
imagine they're there because I
Okay.
was not able to get them off the map onto the new map. I tried
Okay,
already.
okay.
So we're just we could use minis though.
That's what I
Sorry,
meant.
That's
Yeah.
what you meant. Minis.
That's what we meant.
What people are we using?
Not they just can't all be played by the Velociraptor.
Played by the Velociraptor.
Today, all these scabies are played by the Velociraptor.
All right, I'm getting minis for our job. Let's see what these guys will do.
Don't forget one for the dead wife, please.
Okay, here's a dead wife right here. She's a barmaid who's now a dead wife. Here's the big burly trader guy, who's also a bartender.
Well, who did we? Oh, right. Now I remember. Sorry, I had a momentary lapse of brain power.
Hmm.
I thought we did a Viking funeral. That was for the ferry after that.
And here is the young fisherman. There's that all of them? We got 'em now? Who is giving the big trader son a
Shovel.
shovel?
I was looking in my bag of holding to see if I had the shovels in there, and we should do periscope, torch, trail plant, silver nugget, repair kit.
We've got shovels.
Okay,
and
we've
no-
got to have shovels, yeah. Cloth strips, grappling arrows, bolts.
Let's assume that you do have a shovel and that you give it to
We've got
him.
shovels and things.
He goes off into the trees just a little bit to the southeast of the camp, and there he starts digging, and he digs up a red and gold chest, and it's quite heavy. He needs one of you to help him carry it back to the camp.
Okay, I'm the strong.
I thought he was going to bury his mother, actually.
Well, that's his sister-in-law, and we.
Once he's got the chest back, he places it in the back of the wagon. Now, you don't have any horses for the wagon, but he puts it there for now. And then he picks up his brother's dead wife, who's laying on the ground there. And he carries her back off to the same location and starts digging again. And starts digging again to I need to unlock her to do this.
He who seeks vengeance must dig two graves.
Yes, and begins digging a larger hole to lay her in. The other two fishermen come along to help as best they can. The young fisherman is not much use. He's crying and distraught again. The older fisherman goes off and makes a grave marker and brings it and pounds it in at the head of the hole, and they lay the poor dead woman, who is starting to smell very bad now and who's been ravaged by animals, in the grave, and they cover her up.
At least she had the opportunity to stay dead.
At least
I
she had
mean,
the
that-
opportunity
that
to
sounds
stay
strange,
dead. That's
but-
a good
Yeah,
point.
I understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds strange, but not in this world.
Well, she had
I like
never
your
been,
hole,
she had, so far, since you have been in this part of Era, you have not had any encounters with the undead
With the undead.
because you're north of the Feywood now. right? Going back to the chest after burying the young woman, Hadrian, who's the head of the group. Oh, I should have been ready with this. Can I find it? Just stick with me for a second. Regional maps is what I want. I might have to wait till next week. They pull out a map for you, and they lay out the map, and you can see very clearly marked on the map the road that goes from Cahokia all the way to Saltshore, and shows the Saltshore settlement that's actually on the can I get adventure screen to go there? Yeah, if I do this, do this, there we go. Nope. Yes. That shows the Saltshore settlement on the east coast, shows the road and the trail that they were planning to go through the Feywood to it, and also shows a north way. As Hadrian lays it out in front of you, he says, now, there ain't no reason to go back to the Angel Bridge if it's broken. Because you've told him what happened with the Duergar and the runestone being broken. He says, and we couldn't get through anyways. So that means the only way we can go is to go up around. We're going to have to stay to the east of Serpent Mound and stay to the south of the Orklands. But there's a road then that heads straight east out to the coast. And we can make that, and if we don't have no troubles, it shouldn't be more than a week's journey. If we move a lot. If we hit bad weather, it'll probably be more like 2 weeks. But then you'll be at the Saltshore, and from there you can come back this way, or you can even make your way back into Feywood from the western side, from the eastern side, instead of this western side here.
That's a great idea.
So that's the map that he's going to have to show you. Next week I'll have that map ready. I made that map. I just can't find it.
So how many days is that by enchanted mammoth?
Are you talking to
That's a
Hadrian
whole
about that
lot of
enchanted
people
mammoth
that you're
now?
putting on a mammoth.
We can't fit 8 people on a mammoth. We
No, but a
barely
mammoth
fit
might be able
5.
to pull a wagon.
That's true.
It's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
So Raven, the thinker in the group, has the idea to pull the wagon with the enchanted mammoth. So Hadrian is, as you are discussing this, he's looking at you like, what are you talking about?
Fair enough.
Lavinia comes back to life and pulls a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this and wrangles it all together. And kapoofle, we have a mammoth.
Okay, so the mammoth is going to appear back in...
Should have rested first.
I thought we were just discussing it.
All right.
Okay, we're still discussing. I
No,
haven't finished.
sorry, that
No,
mammoth
you did
is
it.
there. You have 24 hours now with the mammoth. Why can't I find...
Little hefty.
It's a heavy matter.
Can rotate sleeping on the mammoth.
We tried to sleep, it didn't work.
It's bouncing along.
We
the road.
didn't have a cart before.
Well, that's not going to be any better, I imagine.
Might be.
Bouncing around on the back of a mammoth being on a cart? Well, we could try.
Well, the cart's got wheels and would rattle. It's not going to go back and forth like this the way the mammoth does.
I guess we could try.
I'm up for that.
I definitely need to sleep too.
Yeah, I used to sleep in
I'm
the back of my
really
car.
frustrated that I
Dad's
can't find
car,
this
so
map.
While
I'll
it
see
was
what
driving.
happens. Well, Dad was driving.
I mean,
the
that
car.
way everybody else can watch over us and we can sleep and get our spells back.
Hopefully.
Okay, so going back to
Shoot you with the arrow of sleep.
the adventure screen, we're going to go back to the looted camp for a moment. And at the looted camp, you've got a wagon that's perfectly serviceable. Nothing ever happened to it. You've got 2 tents that were still left intact by the Duergar dwarves. There are a few scattered possessions around, a broken chest, and so the fishermen all gather what few things they've got back into the wagon.
I
And
was gonna say, are these not all of their possessions? Like, why
Yes.
didn't
Yeah,
we
it's
just
all
like
their
help them
possessions.
gather them?
yes, so you could gather them all back together, pack up the 2 tents,
Right.
which leaves a little bit of padding on the top that 3 people can lay in the back of the wagon on top of this stuff,
Did
but only
we-
3.
Take anything from this site other than we found the note? No, 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 no,
Nothing we want to admit to.
no, because we're not like that. Like, honestly, if we find an abandoned site and we found some things that we found useful, but much like our pixie friend who we kept her box secret or sacred, you know, we would do for these human friends. I'm just saying, we found the letter. Was there anything else that we found?
Nope, there's nothing else.
Are you lying to me?
Not likely.
You
guys
realize
found
do you
a
know
broken looted
that
chest.
when you lie,
and
your
it-
mustache starts going beep, 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 beep. It's a
It's like,
tell.
it's like the scales of justice.
It's like Pinocchio, but in the old days.
Yeah.
So, you
I'm
can
just
return to them what
my
few
memory
items you
was-
found, but the truth is the Duergar took just about everything.
Yeah.
You guys only found some empty bottles and a few other discarded things.
Okay.
You didn't find anything of great use. You
I can
also
make use
returned.
of the empty bottles.
Yeah.
Right. So to make Molotov cocktails. That's about all you found.
Yeah.
Right.
Who could move the mammoth? Could you move that mammoth, Jan?
Ta-da!
Look at that! I didn't
Whoa!
know. What do you know? I can let you
I
guys
got
move your own damn
skills.
tokens.
Ew, what is this on me?
Did a bug fly in here and get you?
Yes, but I think it was like a mini grasshopper or something. It flew over that way.
So you now have the mammoth. Are you hooking it up to the wagon? You've got lots of rope to
We've
do
got
so.
rope, and I'm going to make a waistcoat for its rear so that we can lash it
A
to the
waistcoat,
yes waistcoat. You have to go around.
I
its
am
waist.
not
a harness.
for
of
tonight.
sorts.
Obviously, I don't have a fucking mammoth attached to a wagon icon because I never saw this one coming. So I'll have to work that out next time. But there is room for 2 people to sit on
There.
the bench of the wagon. There's additional room for 3 more people in the back of the wagon on top of the folded down tents and cases and stuff. There are a total of 8 of you now. So, and somebody's got to drive the
So
mammoth.
3 people will still have to be on top of the mammoth.
So there's
maybe
got to be
our-
3 people on the mammoth,
Yeah.
and 3 people can sleep
Yep.
in the wagon while 2 people ride in the wagon.
I have to say
She doesn't
too,
need sleep.
we now have Bear. He'll probably just run alongside the mammoth.
Unless you choose to climb up on him and ride him.
I would
He
say she would be
he
the
have
best
to
pilot.
allow me to do that. So, yes,
I would
He
say-
would have to allow you to do that.
Since
That's right.
She doesn't need sleep. She's probably the best pilot because all the rest of us need sleep.
well, and like honestly, I think it would be great if he would ride alongside us. He can run up ahead. He can be our eyes, our ears, our nose.
Okay.
Yeah, like be our scout.
Our wolf
basically.
scout.
Our
Yeah.
scout, and I'm happy to drive.
Okay, and the mammoth is unfazed because it is a magical mammoth that you conjured from the
Yeah, it
little
doesn't-
wondrous figurine that you've got. It is not startled by the giant dire wolf that's kind of roving around you. It's just totally fine with the whole thing.
Very
You are able
proud.
to start to make your journey if you want. Right now, it is about 5 p.m. supper time.
Yeah.
Are you packing down camp and moving north now?
Yep. Or
Yeah.
south, I thought.
You'll have to move. No,
I
south
thought we
is the
were-
bridge.
Oh, I thought we were heading east.
North and east.
You've got to head north and east. So
North
if we
and
go
east, okay.
back to the map again to give you an idea of what's going on here. Why? Wrong one. Damn it. There we go. I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do this. There, now it'll always just share the right. Let's go back to the adventure screen, please. Thank you. Okay, so you are here, right where that little mouse is.
Okay.
You're going to need to travel up this road to the east of the Serpent Mound. You're going to have to travel northeast until you get through these mountains, and then there is a pass right where this E is between these mountains here and these mountains here. They're just big hills, but it's heavy rugged country on both sides, and then you can go out east to the shore. This is what the fishermen tell you.
Okay, so I would
If
like to
Hadrian
point,
can do it.
I would like to point out, if anyone remembers, about 2 months ago we did have some homework to do on Serpent Mound. I looked it up personally. I hope you guys all did too.
I've been there.
That's cool.
So, and that is taking us outside of Feywood, out and away from Feywood, again, further away from our destination. C'est la vie, I guess.
Yes. If you guys remember watching Fallout, the ghoul played by Walton Goggins, and one of the very last lines he says in the entire series. What does he say? They're talking about the golden rule.
Yeah, the golden rule is everything is a side mission.
And he says something like, I know another golden rule. Thou shalt always get sidetracked by bullshit.
Yep.
And you're sidetracked again. You got a quest to go to Feywood, but you have to go around it. Now, the thing is, you still haven't found a way into Feywood anyways.
And this might
Well,
actually be an
we-
alternative
We were
method.
almost there with that bridge, we thought. But
Hadrian, as you're discussing how to get into Feywood, Hadrian says, other than the Angel Bridge on this side, and that's the way we came through when we were traveling from east to west, to get into Feywood on the eastern side of Feywood, we had to cross one of the well-known troll bridges. And we had to pay a hefty fee to the troll that runs it. What was his name? And they're all looking at each other. The three fishermen are looking at each other and trying to remember his name. And one of them says, was it Ugrolk? Urgolk? I think it's Urgrolk. Anyways, he's a troll and he's got a big bridge and you can get across there probably. It's on the eastern
Can
side.
I ask you a question? I know in my recollection of historical things that trolls love sparkly things. And is he like that?
Oh, he does love sparkly things. Sparkly things called gems. As a matter of fact, he loves hundreds of sparkly gems to use his troll
Aerolite
bridge.
gems.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Or-
he will
or
be
other
looking
types
to
of
make
gems
a
as well.
deal.
No, it's going to be expensive for us to cross. I would like
Troll bridges are always expensive.
I would like to point out that we do have the advantage of also kind of having gained knowledge of the portals. So if we are to come back into a portal, we might be able to get right back to where we are now.
But from our research, we tried to locate which portals go where by, relating them to the king of the underwater territories.
Mhm.
And he pointed out a few of them where they would go. But, and we also translated the language. So we didn't hear one that sounded like middle of the Fey territory.
No. But we were
We might get
transported.
closer to the eastern gate.
We were transported right
Yeah.
to that bridge, pretty much. I mean, like right where we are now, right where we're leaving from. We were transported to this location. We might be able to come back again through the portals to this
So-
location.
Was there a portal up by where you were taking him?
We don't know. We can ask him. Is there a portal up by where we're taking? In which case, why wouldn't we just go through the portal?
Well, the portal didn't take us
Wait.
that close.
Yeah.
I
It's not
suggest
so-
we do the troll bridge. Lavinia casts silence on us, and I cast
An illusion of
invisibility.
vast piles of emerald.
No, but I can conjure that. But
Yeah.
invisibility sphere, and we just sneak across the bridge.
Oh, neat.
So I want to point out right at this moment that I have already set up all of these scenes. I am not going to make any changes to what I set up. So I am not going to metagame. All right. So that when you encounter in the future what you encounter,
That's what you got.
you don't think that I changed it based on your discussions, because I'm saying right now I did not. All right. You will understand when you eventually get there.
Like, so these are all the ideas that they were talking about, but
Just so you
I
know,
made them up.
otherwise you're going to be going, Dave, you're fucking with us because you listen to us and then change stuff. And
No.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to touch any of those scenes. None of them.
Okay.
They're already made.
You just know us so well, Dave, that you make up these scenarios way before we even think about
Well,
them.
in this particular case, I didn't foresee what's coming, but what I have prepared and what you guys are preparing, I don't want you to think that I'm changing stuff just because I hear what you prepared. I'm not. I already made it all.
Okay.
I made all the ways into Feywood. Okay, like I built all of the borders of Feywood, and if I could find the goddamn map that I made, which I'll have for next week, it's a map that will be shared with you by the fishermen. It's supposed to be in the red and gold chest, and I didn't put it in there. I thought it was supposed to be in the fish locker. There was no map in the fish locker, was there? Damn it. Anyways, I will share it with you. It's the regional area, and I made all the ways in, including troll bridges, blah, blah, blah. Just so you know. By the way, our alarm has gone off. So we
That's what I was gonna say.
are
So we're
pretty much done for
mounting
tonight.
the mastodon. I'm driving the mastodon. Someone's sitting up with me. Bear is riding alongside. These two are taking a nap, and I don't know. Everyone else is just scattered amongst.
Right. So you guys figure all of that out. Actually, Thomas, the big trader, is quite keen to ride the mastodon because he gets a huge kick out of the fact that you guys have got a big ass mastodon to ride. So he's wants this experience.
We can sit at least 5 up top. We know this.
Yeah.
Whereas Peyton doesn't care. He's still distraught about his wife.
He wants
Thomas
to sit in front and cry.
opts to ride in the wagon and drive well, he doesn't really have to drive the wagon, just ride in the wagon as
Sit
it's
on the
pulled
bench
by
of
the
the wagon,
mastodon. Who's going to drive the mastodon? It's going to be Josephine. Okay.
I'll be on the mastodon
Because
as well.
because I'm using Bear as my eyes on the ground, so we're communicating
I'm
back
already
and forth.
wounded
Sure.
He's my
quite
eyes and ears,
extensively.
and
I
we're
need
just
this.
communicating back.
Okay, so that's where we're going to leave it. You are heading northeast on the map. Remember that you are right where I showed you. You are currently here at that little fork in the road. You're going to head northeast along this road right here. We were briefly talking about Serpent Mound, and then we got off of it. Josephine was telling us about Serpent Mound.
That you did your homework. to
You
find
did your
out.
homework and
I
you
did my
looked up
homework,
Serpent Mound?
and so it's I don't know what it would look like back in this time. All I know is what it looks like nowadays, and that it is apparently hills that are formed over ancient villages, or an ancient village in like some Inca or Mayan village, something like that. Very old.
It's in the shape of a snake. It is an earthwork made in the shape of the snake. And there are lots of speculations about what it's about, but one of them is the fact that there are celestial alignments. So it may be one of the things that was used for celestial alignments, besides whatever religion they had. Now that is here on Earth, right? Serpent Mound is a historical site that you can go see. Jen, what state's it in? Is it in Pennsylvania?
Ohio.
It's in Ohio. Okay. In this world, Serpent Mound is the same, but it's there for a different reason. That's all you know. That's all that the fishermen could tell you about
I
it.
think
That's all they
Ohio.
know.
It's just somewhere down there.
All right. Anyways, we're going to hang it up right here. And thanks to everybody who's watching. This is the end of the episode, third episode tonight, and it's going to be the end of our live stream as well. We will be back, but we will not be back next week. Okay.
Hi, Pete. Hi, Groove Ass. Does
Hey,
that say
Groove Ass.
Ass?
Epic Hat, sir. Thank you. It is an epic hat. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Let me see. When did he say that? It was a while ago, probably.
Quite a while ago.
Quite a while ago. Sorry, sometimes we don't pay direct attention to
Ty babe.
to this stuff.
TY, babe.
Oh.
Thank you, babe.
Oh, thank you, babe. Okay.
I said that.
You said that.
I said that.
Contrary to Mary said that.
I
Alright.
said that to Sugar. She said, "Happy birthday, love." She said that to us.
Aw, nice.
Yes.
All right, so let's finish it up there. Like I said, we're not playing next week, and that's because Jan and I are on holidays. We are gone
You deserve
for the week. However, the following week, which is I don't know if I can actually get it here. Hold on. Following week, the date on the following week is, that's not right. That's the wrong
That's a map
screen.
of where we are.
Yeah. The following week is the 21st. I've got a gig in the afternoon, but I'm good for the game that night, depending on who else is where. Glenn might be camping. You don't know exactly, right? I think. But we'll hold the game, and then we'll just find out for everybody else if they're all available or not.
Yeah. I think,
Okay.
as far as I know, I am available, although it is Andrew's birthday.
All right.
So we're probably going to push his birthday to the weekend.
So health permitting, we'll be back on the 21st.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Everybody have a
Dave.
good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for everyone who joined us today. We got comments on Twitch from Sugarberries and my friend ZZ or ZZ.
Yeah.
And we've got some comments on YouTube as well. And I'm sorry, I can't read those. So, but I can see over my shoulder here just the epic hats are from.
If I can create a way that
Prove
we can
us.
see all
Yes.
comments from all things at the same time on a screen that we can use, I'll get it done. But it's not going to happen this next week. Anyways, we'll work on that. Thanks, guys. Everybody have a good night.
Bye. Thanks, Dave.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Good night.